Well, hello there. Welcome back to the Art Room. I'm really glad you could make it today. Today we're going to be talking about drawing cartoons and creating your own characters. I've had some wonderful influences in my own cartooning style down through the years, with Walt Disney being one of them. All of the great movies, all of the great characters, especially from Fantasia, Pinocchio, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Jay Ward Studios, the creator of Rocky and Bullwinkle, were another big influence. Mr. Peabody and Sherman, Boris Badenov and Natasha, and Fractured Fairy Tales. And then you can't forget Hanna-Barbera Studios with Yogi Bear and the Jetsons and Huckleberry Hound and Top Cat. Going right down the line, UPA Studios, the creators of Mr. Magoo, that now have come to represent the quintessential 50s style of kind of limited animation looking characters. Really like that style. You might have seen some of these just lately on TV that looked a lot like this. Then in the 90s, the characters from the Cartoon Network, especially the work of my personal favorite, Genndy Tartakovsky, Dexter's Laboratory being one of his shows, Samurai Jack, and the Powerpuff Girls. But then finally, Warner Brothers Studios with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, the Roadrunner, and Porky Pig. You can't beat those guys either. So I'm really anxious to show you some of the things I've learned down the years about cartooning, get you started on designing your own cartoon characters right now, right at home. So stick around. This is going to be a great episode.
That's art, folks.
I thought I'd give you a basic vocabulary of different things that you could include in your cartoons, and we'll be referring to these a little bit later. Eyes, lots of eyes here that I'm drawing, different kinds of approaches for noses, some great looking mouths that you might be able to use in your cartoon character. Then we moved on to head shapes, a lot of great head shapes there. Feet. I use the one, I'm going to use the one with the boots on it today for our character. Hands. Hands can be kind of a challenge, but we'll get around that today too with our hands. And then finally ended up with body shapes and some of the different shapes that will give your character a little bit different feel when you draw them. Okay, hey, if there's anything in my life that's brought me joy down through the years, it's drawing cartoons. And I'm so glad you're here with me today, and we're going to try doing some together. Here's a sheet of cartoons I did this year. It's out of my sketchbook. As many characters as I could pile in there. I love doing things like that. Always seem to have ideas for things like that. Here's another one I did of a bunch of like guys flying, and I'll tell you a secret about that one. I started off with this character first, didn't really know I was going to do an airplane picture, but that kind of came to me as I went. This week I've been thinking about what you and I could draw together, and a guy, so here's what I came up with for us here. This is my new character called Art Man, and I'll show you his sidekick too if we get time, get him out after a bit. But Art Man, really good simple way to start off a cartoon. And I'm going to get my drawing paper out, and before we actually get started here, we'll talk about your pencil that you have. I hope you have a good pencil to work with, maybe one of that kneaded eraser. We keep talking about the kneaded eraser, but here it is. And I like to use a white eraser because it doesn't leave a pink mark after I'm done using it. So with any cartoon, you'd need an idea, like our Art Man, or like Disney Princess, or like superheroes, or animals, whatever you're going to do. If you can hold the pencil with your pointer finger and your thumb, or hold it on the side like that, not like a math pencil, you're not using it to do math with, then you'll be able to draw these wonderful, really light lines. Now, here's what I would do if I was going to do like let's say I'm doing a family that's like dancing. This is like a dancing family. So I'd start off with just this real basic sketch, keep it really light. That's like the guy in the dancing family, and then here's an assistant. This could either be maybe his wife, or maybe this is a kid. He's off into a pose like that. And then I always like to throw a dog or a cat in. That's just kind of me, just kind of put like a little dog or a cat in. So that's the way you'd begin, very, very light. And then using some of these other elements that we'll show you here in a minute, that I showed you in the fast motion video, we'll see if we can put some real nice details into your character. So here we go, Art Man. Can we draw Art Man? You bet we can. Let's get our pencil, and what I'm going to do is start off with a line like this that kind of gives me like his posture. He's leaning back here, and then I'm going to come over here and make another line, and that's going to be his. He's kind of got a one-piece body and head here, like that. Okay, and I'm going to make the top of his head. It's going to be the top of his head, and then I'm going to carve off the bottom part of his head, like that. And then I'll come down here and I'll carve off the bottom part of his costume. Let's see, I don't know if I like that. A little bit too much body there. I found that if you kind of make your characters a little stubby, they look kind of appealing sometimes. So let's plant his one little foot here. He's going to have like a Art Man foot, and I'll put another foot there. Okay, he's looking pretty good. Okay. Just adding a few little details to our Art Man here. All right. Let's go with his arms. Let's see, And he's got this outreached kind of pose, like he's, yay, I'm Art Man and I'm powerful. It's great. You know, I'm going to skinny him down just a little too. Okay, we're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. Okay, up here then, we'll begin his mask. This is the, he's kind of got sort of a Batman style thing going on here, even though he's Art Man. I'll come up here and I'll give him his pointy ears on his costume. Come over here and I'll do some glove ends there, like that. Now, so we went with just round hands there. It's kind of great, so we don't really have to draw hands. Boot tops there on. So remember that if you stay light with your drawing, then it's just so easy to come back in here and make little modifications, and that's really what you're going to be doing all the time while you're developing a cartoon character. Be patient with yourself, because it won't be perfect right away. You got to keep altering it and working with it. Okay, I'm starting to like Art Man here. We'll come up here and we'll make some holes in his costume so you can see. Okay, like that. You doing all right? Okay. How about a nose? So we'll do a real angular nose, like that one off the sheet there. And I'm going to bring this line. It's just kind of a neat kind of a way to make a kind of a mid-century modern looking, I suppose, character out of him there. He's got that line for no reason. It's kind of like part of his chin, I guess, though. And then we'll do these. I love to do these eyes. I don't know why these eyes are so appealing. These kind of like restful. There, he kind of looks like he's at peace with himself. Hey, why not? He loves art. He should be. Okay, and then we'll do a belt. Get a belt in there. I think I'll put a belt buckle on. I could put an A on the belt buckle someday. Maybe I'll do that. And let's sketch his letter A in here for Artman like that. Getting his letter A. A little bit too small maybe there. I might have to make that a little bit bigger. All right. A cape. So let's do a cape flying back here. It's a cape that's kind of swinging back. And then we'll bring the other part of his cape like down here. And bring it back like that. Okay. Hey, we're doing well. We're doing so well. So at this point, I think I've got all the pieces. I'm going to get rid of some of the lines that are not helping out much. And now I'm going to kind of look for places that need improving. While I'm looking for places that need improving, I might even have some new ideas. This is a time to add them. I think I'm going to chop a little bit of his head off, just a little bit there, a little too much head there. And yeah, I think his smile is not quite big enough, so I think I'll make a little bit. Yeah, that's better. I like a little bit bigger smile there, Artman. Okay, so now what I would do then is start to commit to some darker lines. And I'm still not like at my full power line yet, but I wanted to make this line have a common continuity that went all the way down the side of his body there and right into his boot. And I'm going to make his boots a little bit smaller too. Yeah, that's better. A little smaller foot. Okay, and then we'll come in here and we'll just keep working along, darkening it up. That's fun. You're going to have hours and hours of fun if you just get into the mode of cartooning. It's just infectious how once you start down this idea path of, well, like Artman, I'll show you his little sidekick that we cooked up. Notice I'm changing that just a bit. Changing where I put that. And yeah, let me swing this through here a little. And bring that part down like that. Okay. And yep. Okay. I think I'll make the A a bit bigger. All right. Oh, hey, I forgot his pencil. Now, in my first version of Artman, he didn't have a very big pencil. So this time, I think I'm really giving him a really big. He's kind of using his pencil like it's his power. It's his main power. So I'm going to make this pencil even bigger than my other Artman had. He's just really full of the drawing power. Yeah. Okay, and moving right along here with his other glove. Same thing. I think I'm gonna make that just a bit smaller too. Make that line a little more graceful there. Down into his pencil. Oh yeah, put a pencil lid on it, of course. Okay, let's see, what do I need to, okay, this other leg here, I'm already kind of committed to this smaller boot on the other side. Let me make that boot a little smaller on that side. It's a constant process of adapting, and so if you get stuck on the idea that your first drawing is going to be what lasts, you're not going to be happy with this at all. So get used to the idea that the whole picture, until you declare it done, is going to be changing, and you're going to get different ideas about what looks good and what doesn't, and you're going to be adapting your drawing as you go. That's the great thing about cartooning. It's just it's a work in progress all the way up till you hit the finish line. And even then, I'll show you in a few minutes some things that you can do to really make it great. Okay, Artman is looking good. I would go back in then, and what I would do next is get rid of a couple lines. I'd start adding some tone. What's tone is? Tone is gray or black. Sometimes if I'm really happy with my character and I want to kind of take him to the next level, I might add some color to my drawing. I'll show you another thing about another version of Artman that I'm working on. So he looks pretty good. Let's go back and we'll get our Artman that I made before. Here's same guy again. I've added a lot of tone. I've added kind of a cool effect that he is super powered, and he's got this like glowing effect to him. I wanted to show you some other things about what I've been doing with him though, and let's get those out. As I was going along looking at things, I found some model sheets for different characters. Here's one I found about Dexter's Laboratory that I just really love. Here's Dexter, and the Dexter artist has plotted out all these different expressions for Dexter. And if you've got tracing paper at your house, I use tracing paper a lot, not so much to trace other people's work, but my own. Here's the tracing pad that I've been using. Let's go back to Artman, and I'll show you what I've done lately with him then. So I took my tracing paper, and I just laid it down on top of my drawing that we made, and I traced all of the parts that I thought were going to stay put. And then I decided, well, hey, I think I can make, here's what Artman looks like when he's happy or when he's just in a different mood. Went right on the tracing paper. I'd probably go and change his pose a little bit too. Here's another tracing I made of Artman, and this is when you don't want to mess with Artman. He's really mad something went wrong with his drawing, or he's kind of upset about something. So I've got like an upset version of Artman that I can use. I took another tracing of Artman, and this time I colored him in and kind of brought him up to the next level. I really like that, and I used a combination of markers to fill in the colors, and then I used colored pencils to do some of the other shading work. to make him really, really look colorful. So I've decided that Artman is not going to be very happy unless he has an assistant. And where did I put my little assistant here? Oh, here you are. So I cooked up another little character from Basic Shapes, and just to kind of show you my thought process with him, here's what he looked like first. This is just kind of a basic sketch of my little helper for Artman, and then later this afternoon, then I came up with this little guy. He's Drawing Kid. So it's going to be Artman and his assistant, Drawing Kid, and I'll probably, just like I did with Artman, I'll work on him, I'll change him around a little bit, give him a cape maybe, and just have fun with it. Maybe make him a little bit smaller. He might be too big for Artman. Maybe he needs to just be a little bit tinier. I could, in the next logical step of developing this whole thing, I'd probably cook up a villain in the scheme of Artman versus and Drawing Kid versus the villain. I hope I've given you some great ideas and things to do. If there's anything that I want to leave you with on drawing cartoons on your own, it's about staying light until you know what you're doing, until you have a feel for where your character is going. Stay light, keep your pencil on its side, and just be very, very patient about yourself and what you do. It's like anything. If you start cartooning and if it gets to the point where you've got a little character all your own, pretty soon you just can't help but think about what happens to this creation you've made. You want to develop him further. You want to do more things with your own character, whether it's an animal or a princess or anybody. It's going to become important to you because it's your character. Thanks for being here with us today. Before we go, I want to invite you to send a message or a drawing, maybe scan it, put it in your email. Love to see it. At maxshaneman@gmail.com, or just write me about anything that you'd like to talk about, whether you're a former student or new to the channel. Here's 3 great drawings that we just got this week. This first one is by Caden. This is Caden's Aladdin picture. Really like it, Caden. A lot of nice detail. I really did a great job with that drawing. Here's another one by Caden about King Triton from The Little Mermaid. Terrific. Excellent detail there. Nice job, Caden. Here's one by James. And James, thanks for this terrific drawing. I love that guy. He looks a lot like me sitting in the art room. Hey, wait a minute. That is me sitting in the art room. Great drawing, James. Thanks so much for that. And another really nice one. This is by a little girl named Addie. Addie, you keep practicing. Wow, you're getting really terrific. I love her drawing of Beauty and the Beast. Really nice job, Addie. Thanks for sending all of those in, and I hope I get more of them. So until we see you again, remember, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you've got something to be proud of. You're an artist. And we'll see you back here next time in Mr. Shea's Art Room.